The year is 217 BC. The Roman Republic, a burgeoning power in the Mediterranean, is embroiled in a conflict that will test its very foundations. The stage is set in the heart of Italy, a land of rolling hills, fertile plains, and strategic importance. This is where the fate of empires will be decided. The Second Punic War, a titanic struggle between Rome and Carthage, is raging. This war is not just a clash of armies, but a battle of wills, strategies, and civilizations. Hannibal Barca, the brilliant Carthaginian general, has boldly invaded Italy, crossing the mighty Alps with his army and elephants. His audacious move has stunned the Romans and demonstrated his tactical genius. He has already inflicted a stinging defeat on the Romans at the Battle of Trebia, shaking their confidence and proving that Rome is not invincible. The Roman legions, once thought unbeatable, have been humbled. Now he marches south, aiming to strike at the very heart of Roman power. His journey through the Italian peninsula is marked by strategic brilliance and relentless determination. Hannibal's objective is clear: to break the Roman spirit and force a negotiated peace. He knows that a decisive victory on Roman soil could turn the tide of the war in Carthage's favor. He plans to achieve this by winning a decisive victory on Roman soil, one that will shatter their morale and compel them to sue for terms. His strategy is as psychological as it is military. The Romans, however, are determined to defend their homeland and avenge their earlier defeat. They are a resilient people, and their resolve has only been strengthened by their setbacks. They assemble a new army, larger than the one Hannibal defeated at Trebia, and place it under the command of Gaius Flaminius. Flaminius is a man of ambition and courage, eager to restore Roman honor. Flaminius is an ambitious and aggressive commander, eager to prove himself against the renowned Hannibal. He believes that with the right strategy, he can turn the tide of the war. He is determined to crush the Carthaginian invasion force and win glory for himself and Rome. His confidence is matched only by his determination to succeed. He shadows Hannibal's army, seeking the right opportunity to strike a decisive blow. The tension between the two forces is palpable, each waiting for the perfect moment to engage. The two armies, driven by their respective ambitions and the fate of their nations, are on a collision course. The stakes could not be higher, and both sides know that the outcome will have far-reaching consequences. The stage is set for a confrontation that will shape the destiny of the ancient world. As the sun sets over the battlefield, the air is thick with anticipation and the promise of a historic clash. Hannibal Barca stands as a giant in military history. Born in 247 BC in Carthage, he was destined to become one of the most formidable military leaders the world has ever known. From a young age, he was exposed to the art of war, learning from his father, Hamilcar Barca, who was also a renowned general. A brilliant strategist and tactician, he is renowned for his cunning, his audacity, and his mastery of battlefield psychology. His ability to outthink and outmaneuver his enemies was unparalleled. Hannibal's campaigns during the Second Punic War are studied to this day for their innovative tactics and strategic brilliance. At the Battle of Lake Trasimene, these qualities would be on full display, cementing his legend as one of the greatest military minds of all time. This battle, fought in 217 BC, was a masterclass in the use of terrain and surprise to achieve a decisive victory. Hannibal understood the Roman psyche, their strengths and their weaknesses. He knew that the Romans were confident in their military prowess, often relying on their superior numbers and disciplined formations to win battles. He knew they were a formidable foe, renowned for their discipline, organization, and fighting spirit. The Roman legions were a well-oiled machine, capable of executing complex maneuvers with precision and maintaining their composure under pressure. However, he also recognized their tendency to be predictable in their tactics and their susceptibility to overconfidence, especially after a string of victories. This predictability was something Hannibal could exploit to his advantage. Hannibal planned to exploit these weaknesses at Lake Trasimene. He devised a plan that would take advantage of the terrain and the Romans' overconfidence, setting the stage for one of the most famous ambushes in military history. He knew the terrain well, having carefully studied the area beforehand. The lake, with its surrounding hills and dense woods, provided the perfect setting for an ambush. Hannibal's meticulous planning ensured that every detail was accounted for. The lake, surrounded by hills and dense woods, offered the perfect opportunity for an ambush, a chance to lure the Romans into a trap of his own design. His troops were strategically positioned to take full advantage of the natural landscape. He would use the element of surprise, the terrain, and his understanding of his opponent's mindset to orchestrate a masterpiece of military strategy. The Battle of Lake Trasimene remains a testament to Hannibal's genius, showcasing his ability to turn the tide of war through sheer strategic brilliance. Gaius Flaminius, the newly appointed Roman commander, cut a contrasting figure to Hannibal. While Hannibal was known for his calculated cunning, Flaminius was driven by a burning ambition for glory and a desire to erase the stain of the previous Roman defeat. This desire, while admirable, would ultimately prove to be his undoing. Flaminius was eager to engage Hannibal in battle to prove his mettle against the Carthaginian general and earn a decisive victory for Rome. He allowed himself to be drawn towards Hannibal's army, driven by a desire for personal glory and fueled by reports of the Carthaginian army's seemingly hasty retreat. What Flaminius failed to realize was that he was playing directly into Hannibal's hands. His eagerness to engage, coupled with his underestimation of his opponent's strategic brilliance, blinded him to the dangers that lay ahead. He would pay a heavy price for his misjudgment. Hannibal, aware of Flaminius's eagerness and impatience, carefully laid his trap. He knew that Flaminius, driven by a desire for a swift victory, would be prone to making rash decisions. This psychological insight into his opponent's mindset was a crucial element in Hannibal's strategy. He chose his battleground with meticulous care, the northern shore of Lake Trasimene. This location was not chosen by chance. It was a place where the natural landscape could be used to his advantage. The lake itself was bordered by a narrow plain, hemmed in by steep hills and dense woods. These geographical features created a natural bottleneck, perfect for an ambush. It was the perfect killing ground. The terrain would funnel the Roman forces into a confined space, making them easy targets for Hannibal's hidden troops. Hannibal concealed his main force in the hills overlooking the plain, hidden among the trees and the morning mist that clung to the lake. This concealment was crucial, as it allowed his troops to remain undetected until the perfect moment to strike. His cavalry and his most experienced infantry were positioned on the far side of the plain, ready to spring the trap. These troops were handpicked for their skill and bravery, ensuring that when the moment came, they would execute the ambush flawlessly. As dawn broke, Hannibal sent a small contingent of troops to taunt Flaminius, luring him into the narrow defile. This small force acted as bait, drawing the Roman commander into the trap with calculated provocations. Flaminius, blinded by his eagerness for battle and the belief that he had the Carthaginians on the run, took the bait. His overconfidence and desire for a decisive victory clouded his judgment, making him an easy target for Hannibal's cunning plan. He marched his army into the narrow pass, oblivious to the danger that lurked on the surrounding hillsides. The trap was sprung. As the Roman forces advanced, they found themselves surrounded on all sides, with no room to maneuver and no chance of escape. Hannibal's ambush was a masterpiece of military strategy, showcasing his brilliance as a commander. As the Roman legions marched deeper into the defile, the trap snapped shut. With a thunderous roar, Hannibal's hidden troops surged down from the hillsides, crashing into the surprised and unprepared Roman flanks. The Carthaginian cavalry, waiting in ambush at the far end of the pass, charged into the Roman vanguard, sealing the trap. The Romans, caught completely off guard, found themselves surrounded, trapped between the lake and the steep hillsides, with the enemy pouring down upon them from all sides. Panic and confusion spread like wildfire through the Roman ranks as they desperately tried to form a battle line to make sense of the ambush sprung upon them. The narrow confines of the defile worked against the Romans, preventing them from effectively deploying their superior numbers. As the sun set on the blood-soaked battlefield of Lake Trasimene, the full extent of the carnage became apparent. The Roman army, once confident in their numbers and strength, lay shattered. Thousands of Roman soldiers were slain, their bodies strewn across the narrow defile and along the shores of the lake. Among the dead was the Roman consul Gaius Flaminius, whose ambitions and miscalculations had led his men into Hannibal's trap. Hannibal's forces, though victorious, also paid a price. While their losses were significantly fewer, the battle had taken its toll on his troops. Yet the strategic impact of this victory was monumental. Hannibal's bold ambush not only decimated a significant portion of Rome's military might, but also sent a powerful message throughout the ancient world. Rome was not invincible. The Battle of Lake Trasimene marked a turning point in the Second Punic War. News of the devastating defeat spread quickly, shaking the Roman Republic to its core. In response, Rome adopted more cautious and strategic approaches, appointing Fabius Maximus as dictator with the mandate to avoid direct confrontation with Hannibal, leading to his famous Fabian strategy of attrition. Hannibal, emboldened by his success, continued his campaign in Italy, seeking to weaken Rome's resolve and break its alliances. The psychological impact of Trasimene lingered, casting a long shadow over subsequent encounters. In the grand tapestry of history, the Battle of Lake Trasimene stands as a testament to the power of strategy, the harsh realities of war, and the enduring legacy of those who dared to challenge the might of Rome.